Ich heiße Swarnendu, ich arbeite in einer großen Firma, heißt Fraunhofer EES. Ich lebe in Deutschland seit 3 Jahren und ja, ich habe meine Masterarbeit im Universität Stuttgart abgeschlossen.
And tell us a little bit more about how was your German before you have joined this course and how is that now?
So before, my German was very, very poor because I could not converse with people for maybe more than 30 seconds. So let's say I ask a question and someone gives me a long answer, then I have no clue what the person was saying. So that was a problem, let's say when I was at a supermarket or somewhere else when I needed something, or when I was the biggest problem was at the Ausländer Behörde when no one understands anything except German. But now when I went to the Ausländer Behörde, I could converse with people with German and they were surprised that okay, an Indian is speaking that good German. So they were a bit surprised that okay, when I started conversing in German, they were like, okay, now we understand that you can speak German as well. So that's the good takeaway that I have from this course, because one thing about this course is previously the other places that I have attended or seen is you don't focus too much on speaking. You focus on grammar, you focus on the other things like writing, reading, etc. But you don't focus too much on speaking, which is mostly what is needed right now. Because if you speak, then you can read. If you can read, if you can write, then you can write. So it covers all the basics of those. So that's one of the good takeaways. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Well, pretty much learning a language is like teaching yourself any other skill. Like, for example, you want to learn how to play football, you just have to play. You cannot now watch certain videos, right? So
exactly.
language you just have to implement. And this is what help you, of course, to think faster, be able to reply to people, understand better, and of course, to gain your confidence in speaking because you're ensuring that, okay, I'm able to speak, I'm able to express myself. And how was your confidence when you have started, and how is it now? If you need to compare now when you need to approach someone to speak with someone, on what level was that before, and how is it now?
Before I was hesitant in talking to people because, well, they will obviously speak back in German, but I could not understand anything, or maybe some words here or there, but not the whole context or everything. But right now, I have a pretty much good hold that okay, I can speak to them for a long time, let's say for 30 minutes or even an hour. So I was talking to a few people and they were like very surprised that okay, my German is quite good and I can hold a longer conversation. Like when I was visiting a few friends, so they were hesitant in buying some bread from a bakery, and I was like, okay, let me talk to the person that okay, I need one bread which is cut in bigger slices than the normal, and yeah, I needed the kartoffelbrot, which is the potato bread. So even the shopkeeper was surprised that okay, we were talking first in English, and then suddenly I transferred to German, and they were like, okay, now we can talk to you freely. And then we actually stuck up a good conversation for a good 10 minutes because there was no one at the store, and we were just talking about till when was she working there, and from means what's her shift like, and before that, where was she working, how long is she working here, etc. So that was a good conversation for around 10 minutes. Then I took my bread and I went away. So that never happened previously. I would just point at the bread and she would say that okay, it's this much in money. I would just pay by card because I could not understand how much the money was, and then I was done. But right now I could converse very well. So that's a very good, remarkable change that I had in almost in less than 3 months.
Exactly. So pretty much the whole integration is not much easier for you. For example, not
Yeah.
just at work with your colleagues, but also as well in your day-to-day life. When you need something, when you need to make a phone call. Also as well, how did you like the phone calls? Because with the course, you also had a role play, making a phone call, like calling a doctor, customer service, voice messages we had as well. So pretty much we had a lots of practice. How was that
Yeah.
for you?
So the interesting thing about phone calls is actually it helped me because it really helped me with my day-to-day services. Let's say making an appointment with the doctor, maybe the Amazon guy called and okay, where are you basically located? So let's say he is at a particular location, then you have to guide the person that okay, you have to go here, then take a right, then take a left, and then you're at my house. So these things it seems very simple, but these are quite complicated when you start talking in German. And then you're searching for words here and there, like calling a doctor, that, okay, I have a problem here, calling an ambulance, calling a fire brigade. So these are very normal things that you do in day-to-day life, but these are very important things. So these have to be learned. So that's one very much key point that I had, because you never know what the other person is going to reply to you. So that's very much important. So that's one good takeaway that I had. And second, which actually motivated me for this course, was the daily Nachrichten that we had, the daily 5 minutes voice notes that we had to send. So it actually helped me think about a lot of things in German, the topics that we had to send at the start of the week. I was a bit slow there, but yeah, I sent them most of the weeks on time. So that was one thing, that, okay, how do you talk about a lot of things in German for, let's say, 5 minutes at a time? Do you have one topic, you have to speak more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You have a picture in front of you. You have to describe that, okay, this is how something looks like. How do you do that? So those are the very important things that this course actually taught me. Other courses were like, okay, it taught you, but not at this depth and not at this frequency. Let's say you have to do it every day. So that was a consistency that this course actually helped me with.
Exactly. Like, well, as I just mentioned now, because you never know when you will need German. Maybe you won't speak the whole day, but there'll be one phone call, which is very important. Maybe you need to call a hospital, maybe you need to call ambulance. You never know, right? And this is the moment when you need a language, right? Because maybe you're surrounded with friends from your same country and you don't need to speak the language, right? But of course, since you're in the other country where the German is the main language, you never know. So it's good to always to be prepared. This is what we do with the phone call, making sure that you're prepared when the real phone call will happen. So we role play that like it's really happening, preparing you, first of all, to have confidence for that. And also as well to know how to handle the phone call. Because when you speak with a person in live, it's not same when you do it by a phone call. Because by a phone call, you do not see the person, you don't see his hand movements or something where he can maybe show you, explain something, but here just the voice, and then you really, really have to focus. Also, as well as you just mentioned with the voice notes, this is something that we help students to build that long-term memory and to get used to talking in German, especially if you say in the early morning, first thing when you get up, you start thinking in German, and this is how your day pretty much will be now. Like you think in the language that you speak, which helps a lot with memorizing words, expressing yourself as you really want. And the most important is learning what you actually need. Like, for example, describing a picture is something that you do because you're telling about something that you would generally do it in your own way, right? Not something which is by the book, but pretty much we teach you what you actually need. And is there anything that you like to say to someone who would consider joining this course? Let's say the person sitting with me together on the call, and he needs to now make a decision. Okay, should I join this course or not?
I would recommend this course because it actually helped you. It actually helped me understand how German systems work, first of all. And second, how to actually convince them to do something that they might hesitate in another language. Let's say you talk to them in English, they're like, okay, it might sound a little bit rude or sometimes that, okay, they can't, so you might think that, okay, they can't speak English that well. Well, you can't speak German. You are in Germany. So I'm in Germany right now. So you have to understand their language, you have to integrate with their culture and then understand how they function. So this language barrier, which is there, it has to be broken down by someone, either you or them. And since you are the one who has come to a new country, it's better for you to understand the language, integrate well. So I would say that yes, this course actually helped me break that barrier, because I've tried with other courses, not too much satisfied with those. This course actually helped me break that language barrier and actually approach people whenever I needed some help in finding directions and finding the right place, right Schule, right, let's say restaurant or some even arts, and even doctors. So when I had a problem with the doctor was like a little bit hesitant to speak in English. I was like, okay, you can go ahead in German. Whenever I have a problem in German, we can switch back to English. Like, let's say technical terms, etc. That's a bit difficult when you talk to a uh, talk to a doctor, because they have a lot more complicated, complex stuff. That's a bit difficult to understand in the German. But yeah, but even without that, the conversation goes very well. That you need to give a blood for a blood test, for example. The most recent situation that I had, you can just go to them that, yeah, I need a blood proof form, and then it's done. It's easy. They'll direct you that, okay, do this, do this, do this. And it's in German, it's quite simple for them. And if you learn German, it's quite simple for you as well.